let's talk about the asteroid belt a little bit, because the asteroid belt is larger than a moon called Enceladus, moon of Saturn. But this is a object that is a little bit of 2.80 astronomical units. So miles is going to be 469 million miles away from the sun here for us to look at. So Saturn is the jewel of the solar system, and it's also the most beautiful planet because of its fascinating rings. It is about 9.58 astronomical units away from the sun, but let's see how much miles it is actually from the sun, which we're going to discover right now, which is about 924 million miles away from the sun. One cool fact about the gas giant orbits: some orbits may have some little asteroids in between them. Between the planets that they have asteroids, they may be like Hector in between Jupiter and Saturn, or Charon and Chariklo in between Uranus and Saturn. But talking about Uranus, let's move on to Uranus. Uranus is an ice giant of the solar system, about 19.2 astronomical units away, but from here, you can see the light grows down. From Saturn it was brighter, but here it's actually lower. Guys, okay? So from here, Uranus is an ice giant that's a little larger than Neptune, but it's 19.2 astronomical units. But now let's discover how. But it's definitely compared to Neptune. When compared to Neptune, the light is even lower. So this is the realistic light of the solar system. And by right now, let's see how much Neptune mile is from the sun. We already know it's 30.1 astronomical units, but it's 2 billion miles away from the sun. Wow, that's a lot. Are you really get 3 billion then, and then just like zoom out of this stuff? I don't think we're going to get 3 billion so fast, guys, or like 10 billion. But next up, Pluto. Pluto is a dwarf planet of the solar system, but was also considered the 9th planet. Pluto is about 39.5 astronomical units away from the sun. It is the dwarf planet that is the largest in radius. So far away that this is the amount of light it gets. But now, Pluto is about 3 billion miles compared to 30, but it's also 45 from the sun. Oh, really? We have to go back 3 billion. That's a large amount of miles away from the sun, though. But it's not as much as Orcus, which is 48 dot. I can't remember. It's 48 astronomical units away from the sun. But this one is at the borders of the Kuiper belt, which is about 50 astronomical units. This is just 48. Its light is way much lower. You can almost not see the surface here. If you don't have light around, it may be hard to see it if you can't see it. But I cannot see. I can only see the covering. But compared to 48 astronomical units, Orcus is going to be about. So wait, is sure Orcus orbits the sun at this is F3.27. 4.53 billion kilometers. Wait, I can't get 7.19 billion. I can't. Okay, I can't actually find an answer to this one, but I imagine it would be 5 billion miles away from the sun. I imagine that. But yeah, I don't want to say kilometers there. Now, we'll get to an object in the scatter disk, which is a little farther away, and which is also named Eris. which is also the dwarf planet. You also know that now you can't see the surface, and that's its planet here. But that far away is 6 billion miles away from the sun, which means it's one of the farthest planets we have met right now. Right now, we're going to 2007 OR10, also named Gong. But something else is that it is 82.3 astronomical units away from the sun. So that's one of the first objects we've met right now. But it's also a minor planet, which may turn to dwarf planet in a few years. But let's see if I can just get the answer from Gong. A billion miles. I didn't say billion. There you go. I said billion. I do not know if this can get right now as soon to a trillion miles. But if it can, I'm going to get really impressed by that if it can. Right now, we're just going. If this reaches a trillion, right? Don't tell me that'll happen. Okay, well, let me find through the next object if it even exists. Here we go, 2018 AG 37 is about 132 astronomical units away from the sun. Will this be a trillion miles away from the sun? I don't know about that. Maybe it's the size of Siri, so small, I guess. But now, going on, let's see how much miles 2018 AG 37 is away from the sun. Let's see. Let me find here. 250 miles if you're near the lower limit of the Dwarf Canyon. Okay. I didn't really find one. Okay, let's actually just take off 2018 AG37 from our list and just jump up to the next object, which is Planet 9. I hope this is not a trillion, or this will be too large to even imagine. We only want to see a pet. Now let's see if there is an answer to that. I hope it doesn't say a trillion. Let me see if I don't mean the goblin. The goblin was known as, okay.